your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. Welcome back to the weekly warm-up podcast. I am really excited for this episode because we are diving into a whole new territory, a whole new category, I think an industry that I haven't even really discussed. And that means I need to bring in the real deal, the professional, the girl that I love and that has been working on my body for quite some time now. I've had to some of my run club events. So if you are in run club, you will be familiar with her. The lovely Michelle. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is so awesome.
Yay.
This is my first podcast.
Oh, it's an honor. Okay, great.
Yeah. So I am Michelle, and I've been a massage therapist for 7 years now. There's so much to be said about massage therapy, how society views it, how I view it, my approach. So yeah, let's just dive in because there's a lot to be.
Yeah. Let's dive in. Where are you from? How long have you been in Miami?
Yeah.
Break that down.
Miami native. I've been here since I was 4. I have lived in Georgia or North Carolina for a bit, but I always come back here. This is my home. I was born in Ecuador, so briefly stayed there for a few years, but I've been, mainly here, Miami, Florida.
With starting a business, I'm sure that's been, very beneficial for you.
Absolutely. I mean, even though I don't necessarily have connections with let's say childhood friends or family like that, it's still beautiful to create new, relationships here in Miami. It's just when one person just, speaks to another and just, it's like a wildfire, it kind of just blows up and you're thinking it's so much people here in Miami. And yeah, it is. But granted, it still feels like a small world. I don't know.
No, absolutely. I don't think that I live
so far in Miami, but it's always oh, you know that person. I know what? How in the world? It's happened to me every year so much.
I don't feel like I live in a large city at all. I feel as if Miami has no baby towns everywhere, but it's still very small. It's not as big as people think it is. And I think that takes you living here to realize it, because it could seem intimidating, but it really isn't. It's super, super small.
Yeah, there's little epicenters that kind of everyone always goes to. And so I think that's how we all know each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially in the fitness and wellness industry.
Right.
I mean, you can't not go somewhere without even recognizing somebody at least. Got to know you through Tatiana, which was amazing, who's been on the podcast. And then, from there, I've grown a relationship with you. And then, we've worked together on other projects and events. Right. So it really is just kind of this telephone of, meeting people and passing everybody along to each other. That's what community is about. So break down your education. No idea.
Imagine I'm I actually have never gone to school.
Exactly. I just woke up and I thought I had strong hands.
For sure. This has been something that found me, this career, this passion. I have not grown up in a family, that was into healing or anything of that kind. So I didn't have that influence growing up at all. So I think more so I met a partner, who's my current partner, and he was into farming, and we went to Cali to do a farm apprenticeship there. And that's kind of how I got introduced into the world of herbalism and healing and growing food and just that world of, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So after that, I kind of dove deep into herbalism. I did a lot of courses. I dove deep into that. So then that transpired into me finding Ayurveda, which is an Eastern medicine that is from India. And I felt called to go to India, and that's essentially where it kind of found me. I went there for a month and a half. I did a course there thinking it would just be a written more so course, but they had us doing a lot of hands-on things. So that definitely surprised me. And in those moments of, learning and doing it on other students, that's kind of how I was infatuated. I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And so, when I came back to the States, I just went to school. Went to school to learn massage for a full year. There's a beautiful school down here. It's acupuncture and massage. So their focus is mainly on Japanese shiatsu. They taught us a lot about acupuncture, even though I wasn't like necessarily wanting to do that, but it was
Yeah.
just part of the protocol. So I really did learn a lot that I really wasn't expecting to learn from Ayurveda, from India, from also like Chinese medicine. So it was just like a whirlwind of all that beautifulness. And yeah, that's essentially how I started. After I left school, it was, I think the pandemic happened and I couldn't practice for a long time. So I only practiced within family and friends. Yeah, then I just started. I started on my own after I was allowed. And I honestly taught myself. It was more so exploration and intuitive thing that I just kept learning and exploring on my own, taking workshops, taking courses, because mainly school trains you to be more of a worker in the spa world.
Yeah.
And so they don't teach you how to like become a business person or if you wanted to explore that. It's really minimal. So yeah.
It's wild that I've had so many guests on the podcast
Uh-huh.
that met a partner and that either
Mm-hmm.
went through endeavors with a partner, whether it's business related or some sort of large passion. I mean, I
Right.
think I could count on my hand probably like 3 or 4 people. And it's just crazy how meeting somebody leads you to
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
sort of big life change as far as
Mm.
career goes and passions go. And I love that. I love to see how everything just intertwines.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember wanting to meet a partner that was into like healing. I kind of was like getting my feet wet before I met him. I was growing like food here and there, very minimal, but like I stayed here in the comfort of Miami and I
Mm-hmm.
was just like dreaming and I was just like, I need to find someone that is into this. And then it happened. And yeah, so that's
Wow.
just, yeah.
The universe really, really brings you to the people that you love and that you need to be
Yeah.
with. And I just think that it's so cool that everything happens for a reason and how you get drawn to energy and people.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So when you first started practicing, what
Uh-huh.
surprised you the most about the human body?
So we had clinicals in school. We had that happen for a few months because they had a clinic there that people would go and get massages and we do
Mm-hmm.
acupuncture. But I think more so I was like really in my head when I was just starting off. I was like really wanting to just target where they were telling me to target and like kind of like people pleasing in a way. Like, okay, I'll go there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be like very
Yeah.
mechanical, be like remembering my sequences. So I was very much in my head. Like I can't mess up. I can't like,
You got to
just
do
be
what everyone else is
awkward.
doing.
Right. The process too, because it's like such a intimate career that you're touching people. So process of what I thought and felt. But as the years have gone by, that's definitely changed drastically. Now it's like I'm more in my own body. I'm more like I need to be in connection and communication with their body in order to understand what their body needs. And so I'm out of my head. I'm not even in my head. My thoughts like I'm one with you. I know that sounds woo woo, but I think intuitively my hands have just really connected with bodies over time that now it's just like, who cares about sequence? Who cares about like the mechanical aspect? Obviously, that's important,
Yeah.
right? But it's like, what is the body needing? Let's just not go to that spot and like fix that spot. It's like the whole body is like it's a chain. And so you got to look at it in that way. That's how I've come to realize that's how the body works and moves and communicates too. So I have to really listen. And I think that from your question, now I look at bodies and I'm like, the body never lies. Like every twitch, every emotion, every sensation, every face that you make, it's a communication and it's never going to lie to me. So yeah.
I can speak to that as a testament that you were probably the only person I've ever worked with where you've not only asked me and, for instance, asked me what's hurting in my body or what's going on in my
Mhm.
body. What you've been up to? I mean, you pretty much know my rigorous training schedule and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's my shoulders. A lot of the time it is my shoulders and back, but
Mm.
sometimes it's my hips and so
Yeah.
forth. But you not only listen and take in that information, but like you said, you really go and target the area. And from that point on, you then move
Mm-hmm.
into whatever areas make sense for the pain instead of just
Mm-hmm.
doing, like you said, that one sequence of, okay, I'm going
Right.
to go from, back to stomach or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
head to
Mm-hmm.
toe and be done
Mm-hmm.
with it. I mean, we've spent full sessions, which what are they, like 75 minutes
Mm-hmm.
on literally my neck and shoulders. And some people might think that's insane, but
Yeah.
the way you do it and how methodical you are. And of course, I mean, you're so smart in the things that I've learned and how you do
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't even know the right words to say it. It's magical. It's really cool,
Thank
actually.
you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's also something that I've like my approach has changed into wanting to like empower every client that I come across. And that way they can take the responsibility and learn their own bodies and come back to their own bodies and understand what their bodies are saying at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been really cool trigger points that you've taught me that I've loved, even with the smaller muscles on the neck of like grabbing on when I feel, pain in
Yeah.
my shoulder. I now go to like my neck instead of just thinking that
Yeah.
it's, a knot on my trap.
Right.
So those fun little tips and tricks, of course, it doesn't eliminate what you do and what your hands do, but it's a nice little fix if you need it.
Right. You're still like in communication and you're listening to your body and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, how can I be here for you right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. How would you explain to a regular person, aka me and all those that are listening, what massage actually does to the body?
A plethora of things.
Yeah, when I wrote it, I thought to myself, this is a loaded question.
Yeah, it definitely is like moving the lymph flow and circulation, and because touch gives us all those endorphins and pain. And so, besides that, I feel like that's obvious. Massage is also a way to bring awareness back to us. Like, that's the big one, in my opinion, like awareness. Because some people fall asleep in sessions, and I try my best to keep them awake,
Hmm.
like in and out, like, you know,
Yeah.
because if you're fully asleep, you can't really understand what's happening. You're knocked out. That's not the point,
No,
you
it's
know?
not. Who wants to do that anyways? Because I want to feel it. Like I want to feel the goodness. I don't want to, if I wanted a massage or if I wanted to take a nap, I'd take a nap.
So I really think that massage is deeper than that. It's
Hmm.
deeper to bring more awareness into your own conscious and just help you understand like your emotions, what's going on in your own body, and
Hmm.
just bringing that forth. That's such a huge thing that we can do for ourselves.
How do you figure out where the real problem is?
I used to go to the shoulders, when people would ask, just work on my shoulders. Now my approach is so different. Now it's like I work from the ground up, where I really feel like we need to work our feet first and our legs and the lower portion of our body, because it's a chain effect, like I had mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
So if we release these areas, it'll eventually release everything up here. The lower portion, like the hips and the legs, which are so tight on everybody, the glutes. I will obviously go to the shoulders eventually.
For example, when you've worked on me, not before like a race, because with a race, we really focus on the lower body, but as of late, we've focused a lot on the upper body.
Yeah.
And you notice that I have tension sometimes, in my traps, or for instance, you've even worked on my core before, but you've come up to my
Mm-hmm.
neck, or not worked on my
Mm-hmm.
core. You felt my core and it's been in my neck.
Yeah, that's like trigger point, and that goes to show how insane that is, because it's like there's a trigger point in the foot that I can touch and someone tells me I felt that in my head.
Hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
of course you did.
Yeah.
It's connected. It's literally connected. So there's a client that she was like texting me one day, and she's like, my shoulder, my neck, or please, is there anything tomorrow? I'm like, for now, just do a foot massage. She's like, what?
Yeah. Why?
It'll relieve
Yeah,
for now. So
absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
No, I love because I have a stress ball or not a stress
Yeah.
ball, but a massage ball in every bag of mine, like in my car, in my bag
I
right
love it.
here. Where is it? I have it right here, I think,
In the
right?
shower, in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and
yeah, right here. Like I have one in every bag. And when I start to feel any type of pain, I will go to the feet, of course. Interesting to see, like you said, where we'll go from one spot of a trigger. And even like
Mhm.
we've talked about before, I might feel a lot of my pain on my right side, but that could be coming
Mhm.
from something stemming on the left side because, we're all
Absolutely.
connected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or either side is compensating. It's like very intricate. The main source of like the actual pain, and it's just like a scanner. Like I'm not psychic or something.
Yeah, you're not a CT
But
scan.
where there's
Like an actual psychic. Got it.
it's coming from your left toe, and
Yeah.
yeah, no. But I can tell you where there's a lot of tension you're holding on to. And I can
Yeah.
tell you that you haven't had body work in months. And I can tell you you sit a lot. And I can tell you a million
Yeah.
other things, to bring that awareness back.
Break down trigger massage and how the technique is, and then the benefits from that particular therapy.
Yeah. So shiatsu is like considered a finger trigger massage. So just like the ball, you have it on the ground and you lay on the ball. You're causing pretty much compression onto an area. I'm assuming you hold on to it for like a few seconds or a minute.
45 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, or even 2 minutes because it's
That's a
the
sweet spot.
longer better. Yeah, 2 minutes actually is like the best.
If you can do it, just breathe. Just breathe.
Breathing through
Yeah.
it. Obviously, if you're making an ugly face, you're reaching the pain threshold where I feel like you should lay off a little bit because then you don't want the nervous system to kick in and you don't want the muscles to contract.
Then it makes it worse. It's hell. Don't do that.
Right. Don't do that. So you want to be really calm, but just like that technique, that's the same into trigger point release. So I'm just going in, holding, and we're releasing. So it's like a rebound effect on the muscle. It's really interesting. There's a lot of science behind it, especially with a ball. So there's just something about a difference of holding and like just massaging over something. And like doing this or like constantly moving, you're essentially just kind of, shredding the fibers of the muscles, but they're just kind of going to go back to what they were.
You're just kind of getting the blood moving, basically.
Yeah. And so with the holding and the compression, it's kind of like you're holding everything and it's kind of waiting and unwinding, and the muscles are like, whoa, what is this? Okay, we'll release everything. And it gives it a chance to really let go and unwind and kind of go back to its like main form, you could say. Because the knot is there on purpose. It's there to protect you. Everyone sees knots as like this horrible thing, obviously, because it's like, linked to pain and it hurts. But knots are actually a protection thing that the body does. It's really interesting. So once you hold those in place, they kind of really communicate and they're like, okay, we can let go.
Yeah.
So, and there's more room for like connection within the muscles to be better now. And yeah, it's just a better way to flow for the muscles and more healing and blood flow. So I don't know if that made sense. I hope.
No, it does. It definitely does. Can you give an example of a trigger point on the body? I know we've done so many good ones, but can you give an example of a trigger point on the body that would help release a specific area or something that maybe you could do at home, just to give a better example for those that might not be understanding?
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. It could be a trigger point in here between the thumb and just holding. If you have a headache, you hold for a solid 2 minutes. You can feel a release in the headache. If someone can like hold a spot here for you, holding down, that also releases a lot too.
So when you're holding on pressure, you recommend a ball of some sort instead of using the hand, correct or no?
Yes, because the surface area of the finger is really tiny. So rather get like a ball that can be more pliable, you can say, like a tennis ball. I really love a tennis ball. I also love lacrosse balls, but they are a little more intense. And I feel like if you're not used to that, start with a tennis ball. So yeah, a tennis ball has like the perfect roundness and just the perfect amount of surface area that just targets the trigger points that are, knotted. So.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. No, it's so cool to experience. If you haven't, I highly suggest it. Yeah. And when you, like, for instance, when you do it, you're doing it at least for what, 75
trigger points?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really focus on the whole body. Yeah, for 75 minutes. I try obviously to go from trigger point to trigger
Mm-hmm.
point to massage, because trigger point all the whole time, yes, that exists, but it can be really painful and overwhelming for the system. So
Noticing people that haven't had body work done in a couple months, or you notice people that sit a lot. What are the most common body patterns you see from people who sit all day or work out a lot? I know that's two different questions technically then.
yeah, it is. Honestly, I feel like I see a lot of similarities, even with people who sit and then even with people who move a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the fascia is just tight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're, especially if you're not doing like a release on your own self,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most people are going to be really tight in the legs, in the IT band, in the calves, in the feet, and it's just going to transpire to the shoulders. And so, yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of people are telling me just work on the shoulders, and once I'm working on their feet or their calves or their legs, they're like, I cannot believe how tight I am in these areas.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
next thing for me because I can tell I need that. And I think that's going to help a lot with the upper body.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see a lot of the same thing on like
Mm-hmm.
everybody. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Do you notice, so for instance, someone like me that is a big runner, and then someone that sits all day, whether it's at home, an office, it doesn't have to be working, but just sits more often. Do you
Right.
notice a difference in mobility, in hips, in
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's going to be more fluidity with like a
hmm
runner because there's a lot more movement. So
hmm
movement is always going to be better for the body versus
yeah.
like sitting and being stagnant. So
hmm
I definitely do see more of a limited range of motion for people who sit
hmm
more. They're like their hip flexors are just extremely tight, their glutes are weak. It's just a whole thing. So with people like athletes, obviously they train more and they move more. So they do have more muscle strength, but they also are tight too because it's just training. Especially, okay, so this is really interesting that I just learned is if let's say you have really tight fascia, which everyone kind of does,
hmm
and or you got an injury from years ago or something happened and it didn't heal properly or it wasn't released, or and then you started training because you just got into it, you're adding that muscle on top of like the non-healing tight fascia, so you're just making it deeper, right?
yeah.
Like we need to go by layers and we need to release, and that's why I feel like for athletes they need the most fascia and massages. I mean, if you I just look at the NBA players because my partner is like a huge fan, and I feel like they're constantly getting worked on,
Yeah, absolutely.
constantly, so it's like, yeah, it makes sense.
No, I mean, it would be physically impossible to perform at a level of an elite athlete without not constantly being worked on. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like, say, 20, 30 years ago when recovery wasn't as
Hmm.
prominent or as big as it is today.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do notice that athletes from that time suffer a little bit, more with certain types of
Hmm.
with their knees, with, their
Yeah.
hips, their shoulders, or their like rotator cuffs versus
Yeah.
today because of the technology we have. And it's
Right.
just crazy to think, man, if you were growing up back then and you were, a professional athlete, what were you doing? And what type of
Right.
recovery were you doing? And if you
Wow.
were doing it, how beneficial was it? It's
That's a great
interesting.
question. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Very good question for like an older athlete to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'd love to get in, a sports performance, physical therapist,
Mhm.
or even somebody that's kind of been in the game for a while and talk about that. Cause that would be
Yeah.
really, really interesting. We've talked about trigger massages, discuss lymphatic drainage, one of my favorites as well. I love a
Mhm.
lymphatic drainage massage. I don't know if I would choose it over a trigger massage, to be honest with you. I would love a combination, which sometimes
Right.
you do. Like you do
I
always end
do.
up, yeah, like for you, you will
I'm
always go to
like,
my
I
stomach a
got you.
little.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna charge you two separate sessions. Like,
Yeah. Like you
come on.
get it in there. You get me a little snatch, but break down lymphatic.
Yeah, I mean lymphatic. I personally do it in a very gentle manner.
hmm
Because the lymph nodes are right underneath the skin. There is no point in going so deep
I don't
at all.
like the tools.
Right. There's no point, in my opinion. I think if you are going to go deep, you're actually blocking and creating more of a, yeah, there's not enough like going slow is my approach. And I've seen a lot of great things going it from that angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I've also done research on it, and yeah, going very gentle is the best in my opinion. So yeah, lymphatic flow, it's really just making the lymph move in our body. That's the only thing in our body that actually needs our help, because it's like we don't need to do anything for our heart to beat or our food to digest. We actually do need to move our lymph for it to flow and get all the stuff that's not needed in the body and eliminated. So, yeah, walking is great. Movement is essential. Stretching, working out, all that moves the lymph naturally. But a massage is like a reset, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're feeling really like sluggish, or, you got ill for like that week, or you're just burnt out,
Traveling, flying, a lot of water
traveling,
retention.
surgery.
Yeah.
It's just a really great, yeah, modality, in my opinion. It's targeting everything, the entire body. Nothing is left out. The stomach, especially the stomach. That's actually where we have the most lymph nodes in our whole body. It's incredible. So working the stomach is great. And yeah, I really do think that anybody who tries it out benefits from it.
For those that might not be familiar with a lymph node or a lymphatic massage, what is a lymph node?
A lymph node is kind of, you can see it as little helpers in our bodies who distinguish what's needed in our body and what's not.
Mm.
So it's like fats or proteins or certain things that just need to go. Maybe even like little bacteria that we don't need. It's just a great, I don't know what to call it, kind of like a trash man. Like it just determines like we need to let that go, get that out of our system. And in turn, it goes through our stool, it goes through our pee, it goes through even, I think, breath, I've heard.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to break that down or ask you to break that down as far as with lymph nodes. Talk about the main areas that lymph nodes are at. For instance, when I get a lymphatic massage, there are times where I've had to stop to, go pee. Oh, well, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that. It's not TMI. What is the reasoning behind that?
I mean, you're moving things at a little bit of a faster rate than
Mm-hmm.
your body would do on its, normal rate. And so you're moving things a little bit faster. So that definitely makes you want to pee or probably go to the bathroom, or it might even make you feel a little bit sleepy or even under the weather because you're getting things out. You're really just like throwing things that you don't need in your body out. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's helping your liver, it's helping everything just clear. But we have so many lymph nodes all over our bodies. We have them in our neck, in our stomach, behind our knee, under the arms.
What would be one lymph node that someone could maybe get moving and grooving?
For sure. I personally think in order to get the whole body moving and grooving, because, I feel like that's the best, you can start jumping.
Okay.
Rebounding. Even if you don't have a trampoline, you can jump wherever you are, kind of creating that shakingness,
Mm-hmm.
tappingness. You can tap under your arms, kind of bringing more vibration, more movement. Do the same thing behind your knees. There's the stomach massage you can do for yourself. Maybe like beginning of the day. That's how you start your morning before you get in the shower. I'm sure you've heard of like dry brushing. Just you can make it a really beautiful routine, start of your day or end of the night, whichever, I think it's gorgeous to like self massage yourself too. Give yourself that time to kind of cleanse yourself and be in awareness with your own body and just feel your body. So yeah.
No, I agree. I always do it before a heated workout,
Thanks.
and then in the evening I'll do my stomach in the shower because it's you got soap, so it's easier to kind of do the flow of things, and I just really
Yeah.
love it. Regardless if it helps me one night versus another, I always find that I feel like it works.
Right. You probably feel more grounded and more calm, and then
Yeah.
like you get like a really peaceful sleep,
I
or
digest better
your
too.
right. I was just gonna say like your digestion, probably your poops are probably amazing. I don't know after. So like that's the goal here.
Yeah. Well, of course we want to get the waste out. Like I can't
Exactly.
stand it when people, especially when they say, women don't poop. Like shut up, okay?
Who
Trust
says
me.
that
Yeah.
anymore?
And also, you want women to poop because then they won't be feeling like crap, literally and figuratively. They'll have
Yeah.
toxins out of their body. They'll feel less bloated. They'll be happier. I've just never understood this idea that like we don't go number 2. Why would you want that?
It is really interesting though. You know, there are
Yeah.
people that probably go only once a week, and
Mm-mm.
it's like everything. It has to do with the food, their thoughts, their stress, just
Yeah.
all.
No, 100%. I know you do cupping on me. I wanted you to discuss that. Cupping.
I think it's great.
Yeah, cupping is my
Yeah,
jam.
I love cupping. Yeah, it's personally my favorite. I feel like a lot of relief from cupping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break that down.
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. Cupping, the first original cup that they ever did use, which is what I learned in India, were like horns, because the horns are hollow, so it kind of creates like a little cup.
Fun.
Yeah,
Interesting. Wow.
really. So there's like old photos of like you'll see like short horns, nothing long.
No, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking of like these horns.
But and then they switched to glass, and then now there's like silicone, which is like, you know, better. But I
Yeah.
personally love the fire element, including that sometimes is fun, and just working with that. But yeah, it's essentially a vacuum effect on the skin. So it's just a suctioning. Instead of me compressing the muscles down, I love to do both. I love to compress and then decompress.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing the muscles upward and just holding that, because holding is like the key here with like fascia release. So yeah, when that releases, it kind of leaves a mark. A lot of people think it's bruising, but it's actually just like blood circulating and just all that moving and stagnation. So yeah, it goes away in a few days.
Yeah, it really doesn't last that long. I mean, the longest one of mine have lasted is like maybe
Maybe a week.
Yeah, I was going to say a
Yeah.
week, but like by that 5th to 7th day, it's very, very faint. The
Yeah.
first couple days, and it's not the entire body. I mean, for instance, when you've done it on me, there will be a few areas that show that, you know, there are a lot more purple, but that
Yeah.
was obviously an area that needed to be, you know, released
Mhm.
more. That had, like,
Mhm.
if you want to call it, like it had a more of an infection, but it's
Right.
not something, it doesn't hurt. It
No.
doesn't stop you from doing anything. And like you said, I mean, it goes away really quickly.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, if you have something going on, which we've always planned, if I have things going on, or if I have to do a photo shoot, or if you have
Yeah.
something special happening and you can't look like that, okay, you
Yeah.
probably won't want to do it then, but it's not there for weeks and everything.
No, definitely not. It's like it also mimics kind of deep pressure because it just feels really good.
Yeah.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
I
I
love
love
it.
the
You
feeling.
can
I
do
love
it.
the, yeah. I even, when even you're like, does this hurt a little bit? I'm like, yes, but I like it. Like I
Yeah,
like, cause it's,
right.
you're working something, you're removing something that shouldn't be there. And that's what I love that feeling. And then when you take it off, I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Right. I
And
think
you'll even
even
say
like,
it too. You're like,
yeah, I think even like in Russia, they do it on kids. That's like a thing where like if the kid is under the weather, they do the cupping. So it goes in, it goes into like a detox, releasing the muscles, giving you more circulation.
yeah,
I always like, you know, I always, I'm always saying like, get cupped because
get cupped.
there's no reason not to. And you can
That
do
needs to be your new slogan.
hashtag.
Get cupped.
You can do it on your whole back,
Your
your
face.
shoulders. You can do it on your glutes, your legs. It's just, yeah.
Your face. You're going to be doing that soon. You're going to be teaching a class soon about that. That's really exciting. I can't wait for that. Oh, I just choked myself with my
Your face. Yeah, because they have
yeah.
like really tiny cups and then really large cups.
But the cupping on your face is different though, because you're not holding for a long period of time. So on your face, you're not getting the
bruises.
not the
Actually,
yeah.
one time I bruised my whole face.
Was that on
Because I
purpose?
left it for too long and I wasn't doing it in front of a mirror. I was watching a show and it just felt so good.
Yeah.
And I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, I look like I got beat up.
Wait, I love that. I love that. Wait, that's such a good disclaimer, because not gonna lie, I would do that too. But don't watch a good show and get all relaxed while you're cupping yourself. So get cupped, but with precaution.
It's really interesting because it also shows that we carry a lot of really tight muscles here.
Yeah.
So that's where it was like mainly like dark temples. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. Because I mean, think about it. Like that's where you get Botox a lot, because that, you know, that's the area where.
Right. There's a lot of movement there.
Yeah, exactly. What keeps you passionate about your work? We're going to go into some more sentimental, some personal stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, what keeps you passionate?
What keeps me passionate? It's definitely seeing people become like more connected with their bodies and just have those realizations during a session or after a session or days later. It's like a beautiful realization of like they understand why they're that way, or they understand the emotion and trauma, or they
Hmm.
understand why they have the pain there. It's like an exploration, and to see kind of like that light bulb look in people's faces, like I feel alive again, or I feel
Hmm.
aware again, or I feel connected again, I feel at home again. I'm just like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
my mission here. It's like to bring people back into the body, to be embodied. So
Well,
that's
I
that.
like that. And I like the part about, trauma because we as humans, and some people might not know, I didn't know until I got, into my 20s, how we hold trauma, in
Mm-hmm.
our body. We hold trauma in our muscles. We hold trauma in certain parts of our body. I used to hold a lot of stress in my hips. Now it's in my shoulders.
Mm,
But the release of you just
yes.
working on somebody's body, how that can emotionally and mentally, positively
Yeah.
affect somebody.
Exactly. I mean, you're tapping into the nervous system, and you are providing a safe space for the body to finally feel safe to allow all that to open,
Hmm.
because we're really guarding people, me included. We can guard ourselves from like everything. So it's just like a natural, I feel like, instinct to think that way, because I feel like
Hmm.
in the past you had to really like, yeah, protect yourself from animals, people, whatever, you know? So it's just like ingrained in us to guard and like be cautious. So when we are in that state of like safety, our body feels like, oh, I'm okay here. I can finally cry. I can finally digest. I can
Hmm.
finally tremble, whatever, you know?
Hmm.
So yeah.
Have you had clients that you've worked on specifically for trauma in the sense, like you said, that they do release and they cry, or they do have, better bowel movements or better sleep?
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just saying, absolutely. Yeah, everything above. I mean, I had a client just yesterday who I wasn't trying to release any stress. I never tried, that's not my goal either.
Mm-mm.
It's more to bring the body into safety, and whatever comes through, comes through. And in that moment, I was working the belly. And the belly is such a sensitive, vulnerable space for everybody. It's a space where it's like open and not protected. Like our skull is our brain is protected by our skull, or our heart by the ribs, but like the organs are like there,
Yeah,
you know?
that's so true. They're just out in front for everybody.
Right. And so it's like, whoa, just working that area very, very softly. I didn't even do anything. I just provided safety. That brought on tears. That brought on
Wow.
trembling. And that's just the nervous system opening up and like releasing. So, yeah.
That's really beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much more to being a massage therapist than meets the eye. It's not just about, oh, let's have a spa day.
No, definitely not. And I think also depends on the therapist, because
Hmm.
I have had really unfortunate experiences with therapists that I wanted to get worked on, but it
Hmm.
was like not great. Not great because of not the technique, but not great because I felt like they weren't present. They weren't there. They weren't like communicating. They didn't provide the safety, or so not every massage therapist is also aiming to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is perfect then, because my next question to you was, what people misunderstand about massage therapists. Obviously, you guys are humans. So, outside of their job, outside of
Right.
what you're doing as a career.
Yeah, we have to tend to ourselves too. I have to tend to my own healing and my own things, you know, in my time. Yeah, I think people just think like we're here to make you relax.
Hmm.
And or like we don't know anything about anatomy, or we didn't really go to school for that long, so we don't know anything. It's like, no, on the contrary, we have to consistently take workshops year in, year out. We have to consistently pay for our license every 2 years and continue our classes and continue our education, especially when education on the body is still like getting, you know, research and coming out with new information
Yeah,
every
it's
like,
ever changing.
yeah. And so it's like, it's a never ending um, learning.
And you want it that way. I mean, I always talk about
Exactly.
how The moment you feel like you should stop learning in life, there's a problem. Like you're the problem.
Right.
You should never
Yeah,
want to stop learning and stop being with the times because I mean, that's the whole point, especially if you're passionate about something.
exactly. And it's just so fascinating, the body. So it's like we don't know that much on it realistically.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's constantly learning. And so I can't speak for other therapists, you know. I don't know what that looks like for them, but that's what it looks like for me. So yeah.
Well, I think you're doing great because I mean, I love you. And I think that you have a plethora of knowledge because every time you
Thank
come
you.
to me, I learn something new and I retain that and
Yeah.
I do some sort of on my own
Mm.
practice because of something that you've taught me to help, at least for the time being, like you said. So there's nothing like being able to have recovery and learn about it while you're doing it. At least for me, I
Yeah.
love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a very empowering feeling, and that's the
Yeah.
point.
You take care of people as far as recovery goes. You take care
Yeah.
of people to make them feel good and make them feel better. But what about you? I
Who
mean,
takes care of me?
what do you do for your own recovery and self-care? I've always been very fascinated about that because what do you do for your recovery? How do you take care of yourself?
Many things. I really feel like I've gotten close to like helping others only because I've gotten close to helping my own body.
Hmm.
So I really understand where these like tight spaces are, or maybe where I hold tension and I work it with someone else. But yeah, self massage, primary thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use a tennis ball and I'm working on doing myofascial release for like 2 hours. Yeah. Sometimes an hour, sometimes I'm watching a show, sometimes I'm listening to a podcast, but I take that time. After my sessions, I like get home, I shower always. It's kind of like a little ritual. Whatever, I picked up, it's not mine. It's a whole thing.
And
I
then
go
the steam, it's
outside.
kind of like a detox too.
Right. I stretch, I go outside. I'm always like in my yard gardening. So I
Mm.
really feel grounded. It's a beautiful contrast. I feel like I don't have to be like packing and moving. It's like I'm just here with the earth. Like,
Hmm.
so that's a really healing thing for me. Rest. And I feel like I've come to realize a lot of my friends have been telling me, I literally rest because you've inspired me to rest. I'm like, wow. Like, I guess I'm a sloth. Like, I sleep a lot.
Oh my gosh. You wait.
I,
You've watched Ice Age before, right?
yeah.
Like, does anyone care about Shalissa? Like I say that all the time.
I'm a sloth. Like, I love
No, I'm
sleep
dead.
so much.
Yeah.
And I think for women, we need to sleep more than men.
Yes.
So,
I love my sleep. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll sleep 9 hours and say I didn't get enough sleep,
oh yeah, I
especially
think I'm a
when
solid
it's that
10
time of the month, like as it is right now.
hours.
Sleep right now is so important to me.
Yeah. So sleep, rest, even if it's me being outside on my lawn chair, just taking in the sun,
Hmm.
not even on my phone, not even listening to music, just fully there,
Yeah.
present. There's so many different things, there's a lot of play. There's a lot of like outdoor activities that I love doing, kayaking and hiking and camping.
Yeah, you're a very outdoors gal. I know that you love your camping and
Yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
out there. I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I love movement. I love movement. I love anything like that. So that really helps me come back to balance and then just be there for people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this is a question. I've asked you about this and you're like, I just do this. Your hands. How do you, and your arms and your
Uh-huh.
biceps? I think about your biceps. I think about your shoulders. What, besides just, what you just, is there anything in particular? Do you ever get sore? Do you ever just feel like,
No.
do you cramp up? How are you so strong in the hands? Just, I can't even comprehend working
Yeah.
on people like you do
Right.
on a day to
So
day.
I think of like those little like Asian women who are tiny and you're like, that woman was so strong. Like how
Powerhouse.
yes. And like there's not like huge muscles or like nothing. But from going to that school that was primarily Chinese, oh my gosh, Chinese medicine inspired school, they taught me how to do it appropriately and using my whole body weight and not just my hands.
Oh, right. You've said that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the trick. That's the only thing. It's like my whole body weight leans forward and then that forward movement goes down to my hands. But granted, I am pretty strong. So
Hell yeah.
I
Cause
think
I
it's
mean,
both.
it's not like you're, I'm not going to say you're not tall, but you're
Yeah.
not this like,
I am
big,
short.
yeah, you're not this big girl. I mean, you pack some energy for,
Right,
your
right.
size.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like my genetics too. I
I think
think,
it's really mental too of just how like centered you are as a person.
right,
I
right,
feel like that is it too, because you do obviously bring a calming energy into your sessions, which I would expect you should.
right.
But I just feel like there's got to be something to do with just how you are
Mm.
centered as a human being to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, imagine if I was someone who had a lot of anxiety and then I do my sessions and it'd be like all over
all
the
over the
place.
place?
Yeah, you would feel it. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, or I'm rushing all the time, I'm late, and no, 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 no.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even make sense. Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of, with rushing and living in Miami where traffic is not the worst traffic in the world, but it's
It's
not
not the worst.
it's
I've seen
not the worst.
worse.
It's not that bad.
Oh my
It
gosh.
you it's not that bad. It's just there's sequence of unfortunate events such as multiple drawbridges because we have water
Yeah,
and boats.
yeah.
And then obviously
Construction.
people don't know how to drive. So accidents, and it's literally usually 9 times out of 10 a fender bender where people don't move out of the
Yeah,
way. Or like you said, construction. The business that you've started is traveling. You come to
yeah.
people's homes, which I love because it takes the stress away from me and it puts it onto you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So
But I
how,
have a strategy
yeah,
too,
yeah.
because
What's that strategy?
right. So I am very limited in my time frame of when I offer my sessions.
Mm,
So I know friends that are body workers and they do sessions at 10 p.m. I'm like, no, that's not me. I'm done by like 7. Like I tap
absolutely.
out.
Yeah.
And not I mean energetically, yes, because it's like it's downtime. Like I need to make dinner. I
Boundaries.
need to, yeah, and then but that's rush hour time. Why would I have a session at 7? Like I would be in traffic for an hour. That's silly.
Hmm.
So I always aim for sessions as early as 9 a.m. And there are people that want to do it at 9 a.m.
Would do it at 9 a.m., but I feel like I like it at the end of the day because then I can calm out,
Okay,
zen
yeah.
out and go to sleep. But like my mom, like when she had a session with you one day, like she did like what, 10 or 11, I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine doing a session with you and then functioning for the rest of the day. I feel like it would just ruin everything. Does that make sense? I am like
I love it.
yeah, I'm like the lazy
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
that I want or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
You gave me a massage at 9 a.m. I would say
I'm done for the
rotting.
day.
Rotting, my day is over, couch potato. I'll do some maybe computer work at most. I will use my
Right,
hands
right.
laying horizontal, but I'm not doing
Mhm.
anything else because I want to soak in everything that I just received.
And I love that. I think that's the smartest thing you could do after a session. I
Yeah.
have clients in the past who the session's over and 5 minutes later they're like, I need to get on a call. I have a meeting. I'm like, oh my
What's the
goodness.
point?
Yeah, what's the point? Because everything
Yeah.
I did, now your nervous system is kicked. Now you're like in your head. No. So like
Yeah.
what I tell my clients, like, please try not to do anything at least a few hours after the session so you
Yeah.
can really integrate. You can really take a shower. You can take the time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, going back to your question, yeah. So I just have like time slots that are like perfect in Miami. I've figured out time slots that are without traffic. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, like, that's exactly it, though, is once you kind of figure out your schedule and what you just like me and everybody, once you figure that out, you can beep bop around here very
Oh, yeah.
easily. What's a daily movement or posture adjustment that would change everyone's lives if they actually did it and routinely did it?
I would say uncross your legs.
Okay.
Take a deep breath in, probably 4 deep breath in, belly breaths. Really like bring your posture upward because we tend to
Hmm.
lean forward,
Yeah.
but not overly like erect because that can also not feel great. So kind of find like a neutral stance where it just feels like, okay, we're good here. And yeah, just try to like sit on a cushion than like a hard chair. And yeah, I feel like that's the best you can do if you're sitting, or
Yeah.
like
No,
driving. Yeah.
I love that.
And kind of visualizing like our tailbone Like when we sit, I feel like our tailbone, our hips, they kind of go outward. Maybe visualize bringing it inward and like tightening your core a little bit. And then
That's
just feel.
something I'm constantly reminding myself of because I've always tilted the hips. It's something
Mhm.
I've been working on with, chiropractic and stuff like that. But yeah, the tilting is so important.
It is, yeah. And the more you do it, the more it gets ingrained to just readjust, readjust, and readjust. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, to kind of round up the episode, what are you closing up for 2025 since we're in November? What are you looking forward
Mm.
to in 2026? And if there are any fun projects or anything that you're working on, just let it out.
Yeah, I would love to share. Right now, I'm in the process of actually doing workshops, and it would be for massage, but
Mhm.
also I also make jewelry, so it would be for beadwork.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm in the process of that. I really want to shift into teaching people how to massage themselves, teaching them how to massage their, significant other,
Oh,
just like
wow.
helping people come back to the body.
Woo.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's my main goal moving forward next year, teaching.
I mean, I could totally see doing a couples workshop like closer to Valentine's Day or something.
Yeah.
That would be, oh, wait, mark my words that this is going to happen. No one's stealing this. I could care less if anyone does, whatever. But no, that would be so much fun. I love the idea of you teaching. I think that that's
Yeah.
such a big step as far as career goes and kind of,
Yeah.
spicing it up for yourself a little bit, switching it up, not always
Yeah.
having to be the person, facilitating on
Mm,
other people, but
mhm,
kind of
mhm.
bringing other people and inspiring and mentoring other people to do what you do.
Yeah, that's the goal. Like I'm at a state where I'm like, okay, I feel ready to give this knowledge through workshops, through online, and even like mentor other body workers at this point. I have a friend who actually reached out to me and was like, I want to learn. Please teach me. So I've been also teaching her, and that way she gets to, work on her clients. So it's
Hmm.
been a beautiful role that I've like gotten a little glimpse into, and so I really want to take it full blown next year.
Well, that's amazing. I think you're going to do a great job. And if you do any workshops, I would love to attend, even if I am what is it called? The test dummy.
Oh, you're like, I want to be the model.
Yeah, I'll be the model, please. Thank you. But
For
no,
sure.
that's really exciting for you. And I mean, I think that you'll definitely take off. There's a lot of room in that industry for you, for sure.
I mean, I just see a lot of retreats, beautiful
Mm,
curated around movement and yoga and like yeah,
yeah.
dancing and just things like of that nature. But I feel like there is a little missing element on body work too, because that's also a great way to come back to the body. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also trying to do something like that too. Yeah.
Well, good for you. I love that. I think you'll be just fine. I think you'll move and groove and crush it, as I always say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you so, so much for taking the time and having your energy here and being on the podcast, being a guest, but also, just bringing people into your life and talking
Mm,
about the body, talking about massage therapy. I thank you so much. It's been really, really fun and beneficial. I hope people
mm,
now look at it in a different
yeah.
light. Also, if you want to book her, you can if you're in the Miami area. She's amazing. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, just reach out to me on social media. My handle is Hands on Earth, and just reach out to me through there if you're interested. This was a pleasure. I really enjoyed this talk. I really feel like this is exactly what I need to do. Get this knowledge out, just make people, empower and take that responsibility back into their
Yeah.
hands. So
I agree. Back to their hands.
exactly.
And if anyone wants to DM me, I have no problem also always sharing her contact. I know that's like probably crossing boundaries, but I'm like, yeah, 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 just text her.
As long as you trust them, it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No, no, no.
Yeah.
It's not just anybody. So if you're a random and I don't know you, I will not be doing that. But anyone else I know, I'm like, yes, you can go to her 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This was such
anytime.
a pleasure. This was so fun.
Well, thank you. And that's that.